What's going on, YouTube? Today I wanted to show you guys how to read charts, right? I wanted to show you specifically, if you're day trading, how to read the candlesticks, right? So that you know where the next movement is headed. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is pull up your asset. So here I have BTC USDT. That's Bitcoin US dollars, right? I'm using the Binance chart. You can choose any chart you like, whether it's KuCoin, Bybit, Binance, Huobi, right? I'm using the Binance chart. Don't be scared about all of these lines here. That will not pop up for you. These are just lines that I've created where I can see trends. So you see how it bounces off here, it bounces off there, it bounces off there, it bounces off here. So I've noticed that at this given level, it keeps bouncing off. So that's basically what these lines are. These are lines where I've noticed the price keeps jumping and bouncing off of that, like that price point, right? So don't be discouraged. Now let's go into the candlestick movements, right? How do you read candlestick movements so that you know where the next thing is headed? So first off, if we're day trading, we want to look at how the movement has gone in the day, right? Just period. I want to know, okay, in the last, each candlestick, if this is the day time frame, each candlestick would be worth 1 day. So in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, the price has gone down, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. In the last 2 weeks, the price has gone down from, let's say, 46,000 to 40,000, right? So we know that the price has gone down in the last 2 weeks. So let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 2 weeks before the price went down, the price jumped. So look at this. Literally a month ago, the price was exactly the same, 40K, right? A month ago. It took 2 weeks to rise. It took 2 weeks to drop. So let's do another count. And why are we doing this count? We're trying to find a pattern, right? So let's do another count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say it took 10 days, right? Really, this whole thing took maybe almost a month to keep rising. It rose from 37,000 to 47,000. It took about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It took 17 days for this thing to rise, and it took 14 days for it to drop, right? So you know that within 2 weeks, you can get some money. In 2 weeks, you could lose it if you don't pull out, right? So let's try it again. Let's see another jump where it went up and down like this one here. So this was the initial jump, right? But you can see it's climbing here. So we'll start from this bottom. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 days. So the last one, it took 17 days. This one we're counting took 18 days to climb up to the top, right? Let's see how long it takes to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Maybe you could call it 14 if you like, but I'll say 13. So again, we have something that took 18 days to rise and 14 days to drop, right? So if you're day trading, you want to see stuff like this, patterns, right? Okay. So now when we see stuff like that, right, and we're at the bottom part, mind you, again, where did it drop to? When it dropped right back to where it originally was before it pumped up, right? So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So now, and then what happens after that? It cools off for a bit, then it pumps up again. So what do we see here? We see it go down. It came down. It's doing its little cool off, right? You see how like after it comes down, it does its little cool off, but slowly rises. Cool off, slowly rises, right? So now we got a cool off that's slowly rising. So what can we expect next? The pump back up to this line, right? Or maybe even back up to this first line. We're not 100% sure, but we do know we have these lines marked already because that's a significant price to the market, right? So Now that we know what could possibly happen, we want to look at other indicators like the RSI, the MACD, right? We want to see, okay, the MACD is still heading downwards, right? When the green line is above the red line, right, on the MACD, that means that there's an uptrend in the price. As you can see here, right, it's going up and the green line is also above the red. Okay, we start to make a reversal right here where the green line is below the red. What do we see? The price goes down. So what do we want to see when we're looking at the MACD? We're looking for something where the indicator looks like this, right? If you were just to draw waves, right, what's going to happen in this price movement? Is it going to keep going down or is it going to curve back up, right? I would imagine that it's going to curve back up, right? So why do we think it's going to curve back up? Well, if you look down here, and I have lines drawn here as well, as you can see, these white lines, those are my custom drawn lines. I have lines drawn here too. So if I deleted this, that first line I drew, and we see what happens here, we can establish an educated guess on where you think it'll go. So if I'm looking at the MACD and I see, okay, the peaks here, right? It peaked here, bounced off. It wanted to peak, but it didn't really reach it. It peaked here and bounced off. It peaked here and bounced off. So what I'm seeing is a trend that at this white line, right, there is always the MACD reverses down. Same thing with the bottom part of the white line. The bottom part of the white line, it bounced off right here. It went past it, came back up, bounced off right here, almost bounced off, came back down here, bounced off, bounced. So it keeps bouncing off this white. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking, okay, the price shows that it's a downtrend, right? And the MACD is showing that it's a downtrend. So what I'm thinking is that it might go ahead and the MACD might show us a trend that goes like this. It's going to continue down and bounce off that white line, maybe bounce one more time, then take off, right? Now, let's look at the RSI. The RSI, I also have white lines on the RSI as well, as you can see. Stuff that stands out to me. You see it bounces off this bottom piece. It bounces off this bottom here. Bounces off the bottom here. It went past it a little bit there. It bounced off here, here, here. So there's a lot of bounces off on this bottom line. Same thing with the top line, right? This top line for the RSI bounced off there, bounced off there. It had life living for a little moment right there. It bounced off here. It almost touched the line there. It surpassed it here. Lots of life right there. Same thing there. It bounced off here and then it exceeded it there. So what do I see? Since I see a downtrend still with the RSI heading downwards, right? I can assume that based off the MACD telling me that it's signaling a downtrend still before it can reverse, what I can assume is that this RSI is going to continue going down as well, right? At least to my white line that I marked as a significant level where it could keep going up, bounce again, go up, bounce again, and maybe take off. Who knows, right? We're not really sure how it would work. But that's one way you could get a little indication of where the price is going. Now, how do you find entry points into an asset when you are day trading? Well, let's go into the 15-minute, right? So we already know that we think it's going to trade downwards, you know, in the next day, maybe 3 days, right? Now, what about 2 day right now in the next 5 minutes, 15 minutes? Well, let's go into the 1 hour. And we're going to do this, right? We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at how the price has been trading, right? As you can see, let me delete these because they carry over into the other time frame. So I'm going to delete my drawings. Okay, so if we can see here, what does the MACD and RSI look like? My lines, even on here, the RSI is still bouncing off these lines. Not as smoothly, but they are, right? So what you can tell is that it shows that somebody's buying it up. But this is not what we care about. We care about how big the candles are. So let's go into the 15-minute. We see that there's movement. It's really random. It's kind of hard to find the trend, right? But if you want to trade right now, let's go into the 15-minute and the 5-minute, and I'm going to tell you why. So the 15-minute, what you want to do in the 15-minute is you want to chart out here, draw your own trend lines on where you think the price has been trading. For instance, this last 15 minutes before this price dropped, you can say, okay, the price was, let me get my horizontal line tool. You could say that the price was trading around here, this white line. You see the white line? Why did I draw that and not at the top where my green is? Well, because I see a lot more candlesticks bouncing off the white than off the green, right? So then you could say, let me draw one more, get another horizontal line here. And we're going to talk about the bottom end. Where are they bouncing off on the bottom? Right here. So you see this very small channel. It's just going in. It's like consolidation, right? Sometimes it goes above, sometimes it goes below. But for the most part, it stays in this very small channel, right? Let's go into the 5 minute now that we just drew that. So if we were trading, if we decided at 9 in the morning we wanted to trade, right? And we saw all of this trading volume happening at 7 to 8, and we marked that on the 15 minute. Now we're in the 5. We now have a channel in which we can trade. It keeps bouncing up and down all this time from 7 in the morning till 8. Look, let me exit this so you could see. I don't want to upgrade. So look, 7 a.m., right? I'm on Eastern. So you can literally see it's trading in this channel we just drew, right? From 7 a.m. all the way to 8. So say we drew this channel at 9 in the morning when we first log in, ready to trade. We could see, all right, I've got some movement. I know exactly where I want to trade. So I'm going to wait for it to touch $40,385, and I'm going to open up a long position, right? And wait for it to touch $40,478. So for 50, what? That's almost $100 gain right there. It's a $90, $95 gain. So for a $95 price movement, I know I can catch that up and I can catch it back down. I can catch it up and I can catch it back down. And sometimes I might get lucky, right? Like right here at 11 in the morning, I can go and catch it down again, and it just keeps going down. It keeps going down. It keeps going down, right? And then boom. I just got to play. I just got an entry point and an exit point that easy. And now I just made a come up because I was just trading my normal channels until one of them popped in the direction I had already chosen, because I knew how the market was trading in those last 5 minutes. Remember, each candlestick is 5 minutes, right? So I knew for the previous 2 hours, remember we said that we logged in at 9 a.m. So let's say I knew since 7 a.m. how long, what channel it's been trading in, what price it's been trading in, all the way up until 9 a.m., right? So I can use that information to continue my trading, right? Okay. Now, let's think about one more way, right? And this is a hella important thing. When it does something like breakout like this, right? And you're day trading and you still want to keep on trading and you want to know, well, where is it going to go next? Here's what you want to do. This is where you want to get in close and you want to look at the candlesticks, right? So say you're still in the trade, you never got out. You don't even know if you want to get out or if you should stay in, but it went up some. This is what I would tell you, right? Once you get to a point like this, it goes all the way down and it comes down. Oh, they starting to buy back up. You don't have to sell yet. Why? Because you made your trade all the way at this line and it came down here. You don't have to sell yet. When do you know to exit? Okay, this is the important part. When do you exit? You exit once this candlestick goes about 50% of the way, right? So it almost, I'll say this is about 40%. It almost went about 50% higher than that initial drop, that significant drop. Once it starts to retrace about 50% of the last candlestick, that's when I start to get, all right, it's time to get out. You know, I'm okay with my profits, right? Because you never know, this candlestick right here, this big buyback could have been all the way back up here, right? But we got lucky, right? So the reason why I say 50 cents, and I'll show you another example of what I just said, right? So remember, I just said that you want to hold it unless the candlestick goes up to 50%. So now and why do I say that? Well, because it could keep on going down, right? It's showing that there's still selling pressure. So now we're going to come back. We open onto this next 5 minutes later. It opens here and keeps selling. Then it opens up here. and then people buy back up, buy back up, buy back up, right? It's still not at that 50%, right? It keeps selling, right? Okay. Buy back up, buy back up. It's still not at that 50%. It's tippy toeing that 50% on this one, right? Let's keep selling. Okay. We in there. Buy back up, buy back up. This one didn't touch 50%. It's almost there, but it didn't. Let's keep selling. Buy back up, buy back up. Right here, I would sell. This is where I would sell. Why? Because it's it's almost at the same level as this previous candle, right? It's way past 50%. This candle opened up here. 50% would have been about right here. So it's way past that 50% mark. And what kept happening? It kept getting bought back up on the next one, right? And then boom, now is another dip. But it only dipped to the same region you was really already at, right? So you sell it right there, boom, you're good. Now you want to wait to see what the next movement is. Oh, it's still selling? It's still selling? Okay, let me wait to see what's next. Okay, bought back up. Then they came back, sold off. Then it got bought back up past that 50% mark, right? Past that 50% mark, I'm jumping back in. It's past that 50% mark. This candle is overtaken by this one. This green one is clearly bigger than the red one, right? It's past that 50% mark. I'm jumping back in for a long now. This is my entry point. Going back in. Okay, we up. Uh-oh, I see some red. And now we're into some live trading. I see some red. So what would I do? I'm still going to hold it. Why am I going to hold it? Because these are like trading sideways, basically. So this red one right here, I want to see that drop down 50% here. 50% of this candlestick, right? And if it drops 50% of this candlestick, I'm going to exit. Because then I just had a nice little play from this red all the way here where I sold, up to here, right? That's not bad considering I started down up top here and caught that short all the way down, right? So you just got to understand how to read those charts, right? So that's why I use the 50%. I'm going to call it the 50% method, right? The 50% method will allow you to understand, oh, people really do want to buy this. Let me get in. Or people do want, or let me get out, whatever the situation may be, right? So that is the third way to find your exit and entry points. I hope this video helped you. Comment below if you learned something, and let me know what else you'd like to learn. Yeah, it's your boy Tags. I'm going to catch you when I catch you. Peace.